Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
We're back. Welcome to the bunker.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the S4 Paranormal Bunker. Friend, we are having some technical difficulties tonight, so this episode will be loaded right after it is done. I am not doing this live, because this has not worked out at all. Friend, having all kinds of issues.
Yeah, and
Friend.
To say the least.
it's been a night, okay?
Yeah, so,
And it's only 16 minutes after the show starts.
yeah.
Supposed to start.
So,
Oh my god.
tonight we are trying to get a person in our meeting that unfortunately they are not set up to actually do this with us, and I'm almost considering trying something else. But the only problem is they wouldn't be able to hear you guys very well.
You thinking about just following them?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Can I do that from Teams?
I'm not sure, because Teams is totally different than Skype, which is what we're used to.
Can you look up if I can call phone numbers from Teams?
I can do that.
I know that
I don't think you
there
can.
are I thought you could, because there are people that I know that have been using Teams and they do group calls. Or at least I thought that's what somebody had said.
Sometimes
Well,
they'll call group calls
people.
though, and it's this,
Yeah,
and they just don't say it right.
It's either real tech issues or it's tech issues combined with paranormal.
Right, and that's kind of what I was like, well, we weren't, like,
Mhm.
having this bad of tech issues until, like, they popped in for a second to try to join the Teams, and then it went all crazy wonky.
Which is typical when you're dealing with some kind of wannabe.
Certain
And I don't have
entities,
an age on... Yeah, certain entities, and I don't have an age on this thing yet.
Yeah.
I actually need to actually hear them a little bit more louder for me to get a take on...
Oh, there they are.
Trying to come in.
1500, I think, is the number that I got. Hey!
Hello!
Hey.
Okay.
Hi.
Did that work?
So much
Yes.
better. Yay!
All right.
Yay.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So yeah, just ignore what I had said before on the chat. Friend. So,
Yes.
I don't know. I can't even remember what I started saying with this. When we first started going on YouTube, guys, we did an episode, season 1, episode 2, called S4 Helps Redditors. In that show, we read 3 stories and tried to give them as much advice as we could. The first story was about a house that has been causing problems for a family. And so let me introduce Jennifer. Jennifer, how are you guys doing? And who's with you?
This is my daughter, Marie.
Okay, nice to meet you, Marie.
Nice to meet you.
So on the show right now, we have Nikki Jacobs, Robert White, Rosella Rowe, Kayla Wegleitner, and Cole Wegleitner, myself.
It's nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
Hi.
Well, hello.
So, the first three that I listed are very gifted in their fields. Me and
Wonderful.
Kayla are normal weirdos that just love ghosts.
Normal weirdo.
I see.
Yeah, we're not professional weirdos like you guys.
Jeez.
You do it for fun.
That's right.
So, Jennifer, why
Hey.
don't you tell us, give us a recap of your story here?
Well, we lived in this house. We built this house in Mansfield, Texas. We were the first people to live here. It was myself, my older daughter, who's about 10 years older than her, and her, and then my husband at the time. And we moved in, and everything seemed to be fine. Besides the fact that my husband, her father, was a huge narcissist. He actually has malignant narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. And things in the relationship and family weren't good, but the house seemed to be okay. We moved here when my oldest daughter was 10, and unbeknownst to me, at about 12, she started to have a black figure come into her room upstairs and stand over her.
Okay.
She did not tell me. I don't know why she did not tell me, but she didn't. That went on for a long time. Upstairs on one side of the house, it's a big house, it's 3,800 square feet. On one side of the house, I had one daughter, and she had her bedroom, a playroom, or I'm sorry, a loft, which led to or leads to a media room, which is just an all black room in the corner. And then on the other side of the house was this child, separated by a catwalk, and then her side, a playroom and guest room. So something was on this side of the house with my older daughter. And she said it woke her up. It would shake her bed. It would stand over her. It would touch her. And she had a problem. She didn't say anything. This kept on for a while. Then it got to the point where she couldn't stand it anymore. So she got up and she moved over into the loft. Like, I just thought her room was dirty and she just wanted a new room. So she moved over into the loft, and she said it followed her there, and it would stand over her and it would do the same thing until she just couldn't stand it anymore. Oh gosh, at how old was she when this happened? I think she was 16 years old. And my husband moved out. There was a domestic violence issue, and he had to move out of the house. And not too long after that, one of her friends moved in, and she moved into that room, that media room, which was, again, like I said, just a dark room in the corner, no windows, no nothing. And around that time, our dog stopped wanting to walk around the house by himself. This is a big 100-pound dog, so he's not a scaredy cat. And he was, he would guard us and protect us, but all of a sudden he didn't want to walk through this house. And he would walk a little bit, and then he would whine, he would cry. If he was left in a room by himself, he wouldn't come out. He would whine and cry until we would come and get him. And then he would run into the family room and sit down by one of us and look scared. I like paranormal things, so I decided, you know what? Orbs are really big now. Let me see if there's any orbs in the house. And so I took pictures all over the family room where he was sitting, and there were these great big orbs like this. And I decided, oh, let me go upstairs. And this was on a digital camera, so I could see them instantly. I couldn't see them in the room with me, but I could see them on the digital camera. Yeah. And I walked upstairs and I asked my daughter, I went into her room and I said, I'm going to take pictures and see if there's orbs in your room. And she threw a fit. Don't do that in my room. Don't do that. Don't do that. And so I said, okay. And so I left and I went to her friend Lindsay, who was in that media room, where I forgot to mention where my husband lived for the last year that he was here in the house. That's where he slept. And so I opened the door and I said, smile, Lindsay. And I started taking pictures. And then I looked down at the pictures, and there must have been 100 orbs in that picture. And I just said, "Oh, okay, good night, Lindsay," and I closed the door and I walked out. From there, my oldest daughter did not stay much longer after that. She insisted on moving, and she moved out. She insisted that her best friend move out with her. She left, and so it was just us. So my older daughter had a private bedroom, whereas my younger daughter had a Jack and Jill bathroom, and the other had a private bathroom. So she said, "Well, I'm going to move into my sissy's room." And I said, "Well, okay." At this point, my older daughter had told me nothing. So I said, "Sure, no problem. You can move there." And so I moved my youngest over to that side of the house. Now, at this time, how old are you, baby?
Ooh, at that age, I was roughly around maybe 10.
Like 9, 10?
9, 10.
No, you think you were like 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the younger side.
And so she's there, and I'll let her tell you what happened.
Well, when I moved into the room, I was, like we said, I was about 9, so I was still very young. I was very jumpy at a lot of things. I would keep, stuffed animals under my bed to keep monsters out. And for the first while, when I went into that new room, I felt nothing. I saw nothing like my sister had. I did not hear anything. I did not hear voices. I did not get touched. I did not see anything. But my room, my old sister's room, was right across from the movie room where my dad had stayed for the last part of when he lived in the house. And every once in a while, I would hear like thumping, scratching, even. What I back then thought was like the house settling, now that I look back at it, was most likely actual like paranormal stuff, where you would hear thumping steps, a few steps on the other side of the wall, scratching on the other side of the wall.
Wow.
And my mom is a bit of a prankster. And so she'd normally, like, because you can easily access that room, she would go in there and she'd make noises, or she'd like bang on your door, or turn off all the lights in the house and run around the house to try and scare you. But I would purposely like get up and I'd call her name and I'd be like, Mom, are you there? And she wouldn't answer. And she always answers when she gives you a little bit of a scare. And so I would get up and I'd be like, well, is she actually there? So I'd get up and I'd go over to the loft, and then I'd go into the media room where my dad had slept. And I'd be like, there's nobody here. So I guess I'm just hearing the house settle. And I hadn't seen anything for a majority of my childhood. I would hear things like the scratching, and then I would also hear my mom call for me. I'd watch videos in my room, and I would be minding my own business, watching cartoons, and I would distinctly hear her voice say, Marie, Marie. And so I would look around, and I'm like, did she call me? And I'm on the second floor. So normally my mom yells at me to get me to come down and come look at her. So I'll go out of my room and I go to the catwalk and I'd call down and I'd be like, Mom, did you call for me? And she'd be like, no, I did not.
My older daughter said that too. That
Yeah.
she would hear people calling her name, or me calling her name, and it wasn't, I didn't call her. Or the doors would open in her bedroom and she would come, because I am a prankster, she would come looking for me and come downstairs and into our bedroom to make sure that I wasn't pretending to be asleep. And she said that happened all the time, and that we were actually asleep. And then she just wouldn't tell me that happened. But what happened right before you moved out?
Right before I left the house for a good couple of months, I was in my room, and I had just a very sinking feeling in my stomach. I just felt very restless, very uneasy, which I normally don't feel. I'm a very calm child. And for some reason, it just felt like something wasn't right. And so I got up to go get my mom, because I'm a mama's girl. So I'll run to my mom whenever something's wrong. And so I got up and I went to my door and I opened up my door. And at this point, I was a bit older, and so I wasn't as afraid of the dark. I could go through dark rooms and stuff and not turn on all the lights and freak out. But as soon as I opened my door, I look across, and directly across me is the entrance to the loft, a room that I had felt absolutely comfortable in, laying in the pitch black dark for forever. And as I look across my door, I see no light. There is no light I'm looking in this doorway that is normally illuminated by the big windows that lay on the opposite side of the loft.
The whole back wall is
Yes.
windows, and there's a street light
Yes.
on the other side.
So even when the lights
always
are
bright.
off, it's always bright. You have to literally sleep with the blinds completely closed and a blanket over your head in order for it to be pitch dark in that room. And as I'm staring across to the loft, I see this I'm a tall kid, but that figure was a good 3 to 2.5 heads taller than me, standing there, no face, no defining features, just a dark figure in an outline of a body standing in the loft. And my mind completely went blank. I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything besides just run. And so all I could do was just run as fast as possible. I felt just this utter sense of dread and like pure fear in my house.
She came rolling down the stairs.
I startled my mom as I absolutely skipped steps. I was running so quickly. I know this house like the back of my hand, and I literally put my hand on the railing and the wall to skip multiple steps to get down the stairs faster. I ended up tumbling down the last few steps because I skipped steps, landed on the middle step wrong, and then just tumbled down into the little platform, and then fell down the last 2 steps. And as soon as I got away from it, I was able to form the words. And so I just cried out to my mom. Tears were streaming down my face. I was in pure panic. And I ran to her in her bedroom after she was startled by the sound of me tumbling down the stairs. And I ran to her and I was like, you have to take me to Grammy's. You have to take me to Grammy's. I cannot be here. You have to take me to Grammy's. And I couldn't find the words. I couldn't say anything. And mom was she was in a panic because her baby is coming to her, bawling my eyes out, crying and frantic. I'd never done that. Even when she plays pranks on me, I would literally go up to her as she's trying to be scary and giggle and give her a hug. Yeah. I just wasn't afraid of things like that. I watched scary movies when I was little, and none of that would really scare me. And so I felt pure terror. And I begged my mom to take me home, or to take me to my grandmother's. And she took me over there, and I refused to go back. I would not.
In kindergarten, we took her and a friend to a haunted house, and it was scary. My older daughter was running and screaming, and this child was running up to the zombies and the monsters and hugging them around the waist.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even scare her because she was too busy hugging them. And this thing terrified her. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what she was talking about. All I could do was get in the car and take her to my mom's. And I came home and told it. The next day I started calling and asking for help and calling my church, and I could get no help. And so I finally said, you know what, you stay up there and I'll stay down here, and we will coexist. And it wasn't until it came downstairs after me that I just said, this is not going to work. This is not sustainable.
So what did it do to you?
Well, like I said, I've got these big dogs. I've got a 100-pound dog and his sister, which is about an 85-pound dog. And so I would hear footsteps above my head because my bedroom is right under the loft. And I would hear footsteps all night long, footsteps. And I just wrote it off to be my dogs. And I knew the bigger one didn't go up there. But in my head, that was the only thing that made sense. So somehow it must be him, even though he had a broken hip and I didn't know how he got up there. It's got to be him. And so I just let it go. And then one night I was laying in bed and I had a big high bed. And so once my dog was up there, my little dachshund, he would usually stay there and he'd make himself comfy. And so as I lay there one night with the covers up over my shoulder, laying on my side, I felt the covers just pull off of me. And they just, like all the covers, like somebody grabbed them at the bottom of the bed and just yanked them. And I couldn't look. I couldn't turn my head. I was too afraid. And so I just quietly asked my friend who was in the kitchen, I said, are the dogs with you? And he said, yeah, they're in here. And I said, is Speckles, the little one, with you? And he said, yeah, he's right here. And I said, I don't know what's in my room, but something just pulled the covers off of me. And he came running in with a Bible, a gun, and a dog. He was covering it off. We prayed, and we've basically just been trying to, in my head, pray to keep it up there. But when we got married and decided to change the house and remove the energy that my ex-husband left here, all hell broke loose. We fight. We get drained. We moved furniture. We tried to move furniture one day and all three of us got sick. It's been 5 years and this house is still empty. Like, we just cannot get it done.
Wow.
And that's where we are right now. So we moved out. We moved out 4.5 years ago.
So it's just
A
sitting
lot.
there. Why haven't you sold the house? Have you tried to sell the house?
Why haven't I sold it? Well, I'm on disability. I am disabled. I became disabled when I was pregnant with her, when I was 32, and she's 22 now. This is our security. It's we moved here from California, so it's basically paid for. I couldn't rent an apartment for what I paid for this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the way the real estate market.
Yeah.
It's during 2020. This house is now worth 3 times what I paid for it, but I'd have to spend every dime of that to go buy a new house.
Mm-hmm.
So where, like, to rent it, you'd only be able to rent for 2 years.
Yes, and unfortunately, this isn't the only place these things have happened.
Oh,
So
okay.
has it happened at your mom and dad's house too?
It happened at not my parents' house where we are now, but it happened at our old house. It happened at my parents' old house. It's happened many places.
Okay.
Okay.
And what about currently, since your ex is your ex?
Yeah. Since he's
Is
been
it
gone,
still?
it got better. After I just said my child can't live at my mom's house forever. I anointed the house. I finally got enough courage because nobody was coming to help me. I anointed the house. I put salt in every corner. I salted every window and door and anointed the walls. I painted every single wall with Jesus and prayers, and I did it in every single room except that room.
Hmm.
That room still has the paint that my ex-husband put in it, still has the carpet, still has the furniture, still has all that. And I've quite frankly just been kind of afraid to touch it.
The items or the entire room?
The whole room.
Okay.
Like, we sold the couch, and that's pretty much it. The couch was slept on, but it was like a pull-out bed. But other than that, all the same things are in there.
Okay.
Can you tell
So
us
you think
about...
it's in the room itself? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Cool.
Do I think it's in the room itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're trying to keep it though in that room.
I'd like for it to get out of the house,
Right.
but in 2019, this all started probably 2008. And so all through 2019, after the divorce, I was just run down. It was probably, no, I'd say probably 2016. Yeah, probably 2016. I was run down, I was tired. And I went to get a massage, and it just so happened that woman also did Reiki. And I went there for cranial sacral work and a massage, and she never got to the massage. She stopped and said, "Something followed you here."
Yeah.
And I said, "Excuse me?" and she said, there is something in this room with us, and it's very negative. And that's when she told me that it was attached to my ex-husband, and that it was attached to his family, and that it was attached to my girls and myself. And that and as soon as she told me that she was going to try to remove it, all of the lights in the room went out, and the music that she had on went off, and every hair on my body stood up. Prior to this, if I tried to play Christian music, I'm a Christian. If I tried to play Christian music, I heard a very loud voice in my head telling me, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. If I tried to pray, I heard, stop, don't stop right now, stop. And I was a strong Christian, so I would just say, oh, shut up, Satan, leave me alone. And I would just keep on going. And that's what I thought it was just, the regular forces trying to stop me. And she said, no, 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 it's more than that. And when I left after that day, it literally felt like 1,000 pounds was off of me. I felt lighter. I didn't hear those voices in my head anymore. I know back when we first moved in together, my ex-husband and I, it was so bad, and I just started putting it all together. It was so bad in that house that I moved out one morning and I never went back. Somebody else had to move us out of that house because the phenomenon was so bad, so bad, so bad. I don't even like to talk about it.
Just to be clear, are you in the house now?
In yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful because you kind of tick them off when you start doing this and outing them in the house.
I know.
So
Yeah.
be careful. With that.
But you were going to tell me I was crazy.
No, you're not.
No, I wrote a whole
We've
book
all,
about the stuff that's happened to me. So
we've
yeah,
all
the
dealt
haunting
with
in
this.
2095. So yeah, that I've been through it, and that's what I do, clean them out for a living.
I'm just going to say we have cousins in Texas, and they told us about your guys' bugs. You might be crazy, but it's because you live in Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
Fred.
That's very possible.
What, Nikki?
I've been doing this a long time too. Not, but and I go in with teams and we all watch our backs. And you've got to, because you can have, in one of my experiences when I was with Robert, and he had my back. If it weren't for him and somebody else, I would have had one of the many wannabe demons. He was in the process of coming and attacking me literally from behind my back. So yeah, it can happen.
Right before I was baptized because I was, and this was, like I said, back before we were married, my ex-husband and I, before we were married, when our daughter was, she was not even a year old. The first place we lived, the thing that moved me out of that house was I was physically attacked. I was held down. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. I thought I was dying. Something was on me, and it felt like it was pushing me through the mattress. And it felt like I was being pushed down and pulled through the mattress at the same time. And I could only imagine that that's what I thought dying felt like. And so I knew my daughter was in the bed with me. My husband worked, or my fiance at that time, he worked nights. So we were alone. And I just started praying. And I said, Lord, please, please let me make it to the morning when he gets home so that she's not alone in bed with her dead mom. And when I started praying, that's when I was able to open my eyes and I could see that something was holding me down. This black thing was holding me down, and I couldn't talk. And I looked, and again, he worked in the daytime, so we had blackout curtains on the wall, on the window, but the very edge was open, and there was a street light outside, and I could see that it was getting black. And then light and black, light and black and light. And when my eyes focused, I could see that things were going in and out of my room. And I finally was able to say Jesus out loud. And it turned around and screamed. All the hair on my arms is standing up. It turned around and screamed at me. And I knew I was gonna die. I knew it. And it just kept screaming, and I just kept saying, Jesus, 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 and it kept screaming at me. And then one by one, I guess it was more than one of them, because they started lifting up and going up to the ceiling. And until they were all up there. And this took time. I'm watching the clock change as I'm laying in this bed. And they go up, and then they're all up at the ceiling, and I'm just saying, Jesus, I can't say anything else. I still can't move. And then finally, when the last one moved off my legs, I could move. And I grabbed my daughter, and I just kept saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then they all went out the window one by one. And then we were alone. And I fell off of the bed. I crawled across the floor. I grabbed my Bible, which was by the door. I hugged it, and I laid there until my husband got home, who was, like I said, my fiance at the time. And I laid there with my eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. And when he got home, he flung the door open, and he ran in saying, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And I'm mad because he didn't get home sooner. He has no idea why I'm mad. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Why didn't you answer the phone? I've been calling you all night, and you didn't answer the phone." He said, we literally rushed home because you didn't answer the phone, and that's not like you." And I picked up the phone, and there was a dial tone. I said, "You're lying. It never rang." And I said, "You're absolutely lying. It never rang." And he said, "I promise you I called. Call the man he carpooled with." And he said, "I'll call him. Don't say a word. You just ask him, did Tommy call you?" And so he dialed the phone number, and he handed the phone to me before he said anything. And the person on the other end said, "Jenny, are you okay? Tommy's been calling you all night long." The phone never rang. I left the next morning. I never came back. And I was then baptized because I thought I was crazy. And I went to my pastor, and they said, and his wife was sensitive, and she said, "No, this thing has been after you since you were little. It wants you dead."
That's what I was
And
gonna. Yeah.
yeah, he said, it wants you dead, and it was trying. And that was that.
Okay, a few things I'm gonna break in here with. Um, just so you know, Jennifer, we are not live on video for the reason that it shows your last name, and we
Oh,
don't believe in
okay.
giving that out.
Okay. Thank you.
So another thing is, you are on your phone right now.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can
Yes.
open up another
Oh,
app
wait.
while you're doing it.
Yes, I am on my phone. What was that?
I don't know if you can open up another app while doing it, but if you can you send me through our chat the address of the house?
Yes.
And
Let me see.
the
That's
next question I'm going to ask you. Go ahead, Robert.
I was just saying that's better. We can see your face now because it was sort of from about there
Oh,
downwards.
sorry.
All we could see was the your mouth and nose.
Oh, gosh, you should have told me.
Fran, is that Robert? Really? I could see almost all of them.
I can see all of them.
No, on mine it was I'll show you if it'll do it.
There's a
It
spaceship
was
in the way.
from where was it? About there down. That's all we could see was nose. Was,
Oh, because yours is set to have everyone on
yeah.
Oh, okay.
horizontal.
Yep. Hmm.
Fran.
Mm.
I don't know how to change it, so
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to ask you is, have you ever heard of the term grounding and shielding? Either of you?
I've heard of it. I don't know how to do it. I don't
Okay.
think I've heard of it.
Yeah, I can send like through the group chat some stuff. Like yeah, Cole, if you want to send it on to them.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm Catholic. I mean, Cole is probably said he might have
Cole's a
said he's
bad
Catholic.
Cole's a bad cat.
Cole doesn't go to church
Um,
anymore. It's really
well,
far away,
like
though.
yeah, I mean, he lives in a different yeah, like, and I do watch some stuff at home, and I also go, but you know, faith-based people, like, too, are very much attacked. I mean, I don't think it matters really, you know, like, even I have a client who's Jewish who's been thrown across the room. And the closer you get to God, the more they get, like, sorry, but
Void.
pissed off. Yeah. So I actually have, like, exercise water that I usually send out to clients. It can only be exercised on January 6th, and it's a huge, like, 3-4 hour process. And I usually send that to clients, and then, like, if they're far away, and you know, tell them, like, a ritual to pretty much perform throughout the whole house. I mean, in my opinion, my specialty, I have 11 degrees in dark psychology, mostly narcissism. And my friends say, what don't you have a degree in? And that's true. Just I'm that forever learner. I also am a psychologist as well. I'm a psychic medium and kind of like fully do this and then cleanse houses.
Okay.
I don't think you're crazy. And again, I've written a book about my own experiences based off of people who are like you, so they don't feel crazy. So I do believe you. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can say this thing has been following you since childhood, but if your husband was a dark person and his family is a dark person, they'll see that kind of weakness and kind of wiggle their way in. You know, Nikki and I call them kind of wannabes, in a way that they're like, I wouldn't fully say that they're demonic, but when you see black shadow figures, it's a huge sign that they are kind of, yeah, like it is not a good sign. We'll say that, but they want to bring, like, you know, stress. Eventually, I mean, the breakdown is like so much stress that you commit suicide. Usually, I mean, that is usually their breakdown. And that's a fast way of saying it. But
It goes deeper than that. They go into different
I mean,
forms.
that was
They
a
can
fast
go
way.
into forms of different possession as well.
Yeah.
So they go
It's a
after the
possession until
mind.
that. Yeah.
They go after the mind so that they can then go after the soul.
Yeah.
And it's really a true, honest to goodness spiritual battle. And it's a
Yes.
battle for your soul. In the grand scheme of things, when the rubber meets the road, that's what it's in a battle for.
Right.
And so it is a protection of the mind. You were right in the hearing of the voices. That is not schizophrenia. You're not dealing specifically with the things that you talked about. Those specific items are not schizophrenia, specifically when you have things where you're being thrown. Or I had a girlfriend who had a very angry spirit in her home, and the spirit was picking up iced tea tumblers and throwing them across the room at the teenage girl.
Oh.
So, trying to hit her, and it being witnessed, and she was pushed downstairs and stuff like that, until I got a hold of her and I went, "Hey, let's have a chat, shall we?" And she was part of the property. She was originally part of the property from the late 1800s, and she was 17 years old when she died, and she lived a horrible life, and she was terrified to cross over. Now, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's a wannabe, sometimes it's something else just coming through. But you've also had this pretty much all your life in the grand scheme of things. So it's because what I was picking up, there's something attached to the property, but there's also something very attached at the same time. It's like whatever is attached to the property, you've also got something attached to you yourself. I don't know exactly what that is, but what's attached to the property is feeding, in my opinion, it's feeding on whatever's attached to you.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's increasing. It's building. It's kind of, I want to call it back building, like the old movie Tornado used to talk about. I don't know why that's popping up in my head, but
Yeah, I agree. It's energy.
yeah, it's they're feeding off of each other, one stronger than the other. and there's some kind of the attachment to the land is there's one section of the home that I got that is literally built and nobody knew. So do not do the blame game mentally on this one, because believe me, been there, been down that road. But there's a cemetery of sorts with 3 bodies buried, and they are from like the 1800s. One of them's pissed. It's a guy, and he's pissed. And I got the name Jeremiah. But at the same time you got that going on, you got this other situation that's actually attached to you, and one's feeding on the other, and it's like it's building. And there goes my dog.
This is a very old settlement town. It was very old, back from the 1700s, and they pretty much ran all the Indians off, and they took the land, and so all of this was farmland and homesteads, and builders just came in and they didn't pay any attention. They just wiped it all off and put houses on it.
There's a specific tree I keep being shown. When you were originally talking, let's see, it was shown dry grass, dirt ground, but there's a very dry, arid type of tree. I almost want to call it like a desert pine. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's somewhere either on your property or next to your property, and somehow there's something going on with that tree, of the surrounding area around that tree. It needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be salted. I almost like, I just literally heard the word consecrated. I'm like, whoa, okay. Because that's pretty severe. Consecrate ground, what?
It's a desert palm across the street.
Thank you.
And the body that you're picking up is just after there's the road that goes beside the place, and it's got that sort of shape like that. Is about there, just under the road. So at the side of the road, sort of half under the road and half under the gutter next to your place.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I am doing what I can right now to try and make sure that room, the black room, is being evacuated, exercise of all the activity in it. And I am looking at one of the walls, one of the black walls. It's sort of the one furthest from the window.
Yeah, but it's off to the right, isn't it?
Well, the windows are back here, the walls here. He's done something when he was painting it. He's added stuff into the paint, like either hair, skin cells, something like that. So I don't know whether you call it
Symbology.
Something
that
of him
explains,
is still in the wall, in the paint. So
that explains why I kept getting told to sand those walls.
That is the only room that he
haven't touched.
He painted that himself. I painted, or we had professional painters paint all the rest of the house, but that particular room he painted himself.
Yeah, I kept getting told to sand them. You sand them.
West and all that sort of stuff. So because his skin and his hair and stuff of him is in that paint.
Ugh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the sort of feeling I got too. Yeah.
That makes sense. It does.
Yeah, narcissist, yeah. He'd be willing to say, "Oh, this is mine. I'm keeping it."
Yeah.
Historically,
either doing
that address has no location, or like nothing was there. Do you guys know what I mean?
Well, it wouldn't have been put into the public papers.
No, like there wasn't a settlement there at any point. The settlement for Mansfield was originally about 6 miles away. So 6 miles out of town, you're not going to have a lot of Oh, Nikki, you're using your cup. Right.
Yeah, we are.
I kind of forgot.
We're still actually out in the country a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Friend, you're not that far from Joe Pool Lake.
It's right outside our back door. Not literally,
Yeah.
but it's
No, I
like
get
just
what
like
you
a
mean.
distance over. Yeah.
Mhm.
Friend, but like
Yeah, I can see it
historically,
there.
there's not much on it for the area.
I don't pick up on anybody. I'm sorry, I'm not. And the paint thing, I mean, I can see that he painted the room, putting his energy into it, but I'm not. I think that they just, they're going there because like if that's what you're kind of
And
willing it, and you're having that, like, you have that pretty much trauma bond with that room. That's what I am picking up on. And in my training as well. I mean, that's just like that's where the darkness lies to it. So I think that's why it's kind of going to that space. But that's my opinion. So I mean, like I said, I do like, yeah, like the F&E like water kind of thing, and have people go through the whole house and like do a whole ritual thing, and you feel it lift when it's gone, and it's a lot of peace, and you can feel when it's gone. And I just did it with a woman in Michigan the other day because she had it in her house 3 hours away, like in Jackson, Michigan, and then also like Frankfort, Michigan. So, and she's a great client. I know she's not crazy too, because she called me like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm like, I know you're not. I know you're not. And she said that she saw this man dressed like the devil floating over her bed all the time. Really sweet woman. I knew she was not schizophrenic. She was not crazy. She just was extremely sensitive. And if you are empathic, you're drawn to narcissists, and it's not your fault.
We
You know,
are.
That's on Zillow.
right? And that's what will happen a lot. Sorry, Cole.
Kayla just found something. Are you able to
Oh,
take a
okay.
screenshot of that?
Yeah, I got it.
Friend,
The other thing I want to say is, so the divorce is final, correct?
Oh, yeah. It was final in
Okay.
2012.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've broken legal contracts. Break soul contracts with him too.
Yeah, cut that cord. You mean?
Cut. Yeah, it's breaking a soul cord. Well, no, it's a soul contract is what it is. It's not a cord contract. It's a soul contract.
with the
And
ex-husband.
so with the ex-husband, and you literally say it however you want to say it, but it is defined. You want nothing more that the whole gambit that fits for you
Mm-hmm.
personally, fits for you and your family. Break that contract, because if there's anything that can be an intermediary between the two as well, and can keep things going.
I That makes a lot of sense because whenever I come
Yeah.
here, I have nightmares about him. Always,
Yeah.
always, 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 always. And
Mhm.
there was a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse.
Yeah, and a lot of that can come obviously from psychological stuff that happens,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the paranormal feeds on that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
What's
yeah,
it called?
and so
Like called breaking the astrological or something? It's a word I can never pronounce. That cord. You know what I mean?
Etheric.
the
Yes.
etherical cord,
Yeah. With
the
the
Mm.
etheric,
person.
yeah, that's it's a different form of breaking contracts, but yeah,
So
I
Yeah.
I had a lot of peace myself and
that's
the
good.
house for a
Mm.
while
Mhm.
until I let him walk back in to wait for my daughter once. And after he came in, um, I haven't been able to get rid of it since. There's been no peace since.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's mostly psychological with that, if you ask me.
That's
But
good. That's good.
but I just need everyone to take a look at the photo that Kayla sent into our group chat. And Jennifer, I sent it to you as well through our messenger chat.
Okay.
Friend, this is Zillow. Does everyone know what Zillow is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's an old picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does anyone see anything?
Just a minute. Kayla, what are you?
Okay, if you look
Okay.
by the light in the back house, like the neighbor's house in the back, like
Yeah,
zoom
there's a
into
woman's
that
face.
section, and there's a person, like a half of a ghost figure in the picture.
Well, it
Oh,
looks like Wednesday.
Yeah.
It looks like Wednesday Adams.
oh, I see that. Oh, that's weird.
And now that could be pareidolia.
Yeah,
Yes.
very possible.
If you've ever heard that term.
Oh, I
Okay,
have
where
where you see something, you make a person out of it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
that
is
looks
a very defined person.
yeah, that I know that house and they don't have anything over there that looks like that. Nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, no. Not even a little bit.
Friend,
That is weird.
Right?
yeah.
That is really weird. Like it's right blatant right
It is
there.
blatantly a person. Just
And it looks like it's an orb right over its head.
yeah, that's
It's
why I
a
was like,
female.
okay. We got an
It's
orb
a
and a person like right there.
Yeah,
Same
there's
photo.
yeah. And
there's
that's a white female. And it looks like a picture from like 1900s or
It
something like
does, like Nikki was saying, it kind of does look like Wednesday Adams just staring at your house. Like I'm like, oh, okay,
it's weird.
that is super weird to just find in a random picture. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
Which for
they're
me that jumped out immediately. Like I looked at the property on Zillow just to like see, and I was like, holy crap, what is that? So
yeah,
Real.
there's absolutely nothing back there that looks like that.
Gosh, that's weird.
and that's why I was like it looked at first like maybe he had a light on in like the neighbor's house or something, but the positioning of it is off. Like
And
I mean, it looks like a portrait just like put in there. It's really strange. And
yeah,
then
that's what I'm
the
saying. It
mailbox.
looks like a Rembrandt just like stuck in the middle of your backyard. Like it's
Uh-huh.
bizarre.
there is a street light back there, but our street lights do not come on until well after it's dark.
This looks like it's like, 10 in the morning or something. I mean,
Yeah,
this
and
is
that's what I'm
bright.
saying. It's just like there's a bright light there and a definite person. So
It also looks like underneath that tree, though, that is a huge orb. Because unless that is and you guys know that that's like some flower or a
No.
sign, but
No.
that looks odd too.
yeah, there's a lot of really weird stuff just in that one section of photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, too, if you look at that tree, it looks like it's
funny
got
because
two
that's like
eyes.
right by a tree that I think Robert was talking about earlier, or maybe Nikki.
Yeah, you guys
No, I
mentioned a
was.
tree.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Well,
He
look
said
at the
it was on
tree.
the
That
other
looks like
side.
there's a separate face in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He
there's
said
no big light and there's nothing on their house that looks like that. It's been the same family. The house has been the same since we moved in, and there's nothing like that over there.
Now, a
Mhm.
quick question that I have: do any of your neighbors in that area? I'm not sure how close you are with them, or if you've shared any stories with them or anything, but have any of them reported anything off about their properties or
Yeah.
your property?
Um, I don't talk. Well, I'm very close to our neighbor on the one side. If you can see, there's a street on the other.
Uh huh.
And the neighbor behind us, no, we really don't get along.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're friendly, but as you see, this is something I thought I was crazy. I'm not bringing it up to my neighbors,
Right,
that's for
right,
sure.
and that's why I was
No.
like, I'm not sure how comfortable or how close you guys were or anything.
The
Like,
the
I sure the hell
only
wouldn't bring that up to my neighbor. He would be like, what?
Well, I've actually tried that before in my old house, and they're just like, yeah, they look at you like you're just crazy. What are you talking about? I'm like,
only
okay.
that was brought up was once my phone cord was cut or my phone was disconnected. And this is when they were still building houses, because we were one of the first houses in the neighborhood. And I spoke with his wife back there, and they said, is your phone off? And they said, no. And I went to the neighbor across the street. I said, is your phone? I said, I went to everyone's house, because we were actually pretty close back then. And everyone said no. So it was only my house. And I called the phone company, thinking that, you know, one of the dirt movers or something had cut it somewhere in the neighborhood as they were building houses. And they called me back and told me that it was only my phone, and that it had been cut or broken at the actual box, and it was only my phone.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Jeez.
Yes. And my mother had called me the night before. And my mother was very sensitive. And she had called me the night before, and she said, Jenny, bring your dogs in the house. And I said, what? And she said, don't ask me questions, just bring the dogs in the house. And I said, okay. And so I brought my dogs in the house, and she said, are they in the house? I said, yes, because again, my ex-husband worked at night. And she said, okay, lock all the doors. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I said, okay. And I went to bed, and it was that next morning when I went to call her that the phone line was cut or disconnected in some way.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So, no, it is. Friend,
Mm.
I did a little more deep diving into that picture that Kayla sent. So that video, or that picture is taken off Google Street View.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when they take a photo and put it onto another website, the photo degrades a little. Friend, in the original Street View, it's a person walking behind the fence.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That would actually make sense. Because I was just seeing that one, and I was like, guys, like, what is that?
well, and
Yeah,
the
like
tree
there's
was weird. Yeah.
definitely
Right.
nothing over this looks like that.
Right? I was
And
like, oh, wow.
Spooky.
Right?
the orb that, or the item that Rosella was talking about underneath the tree,
Yeah.
that looks like one of those hanging banners that you put in your garden.
Okay.
Oh, like a ADT, like home
Either that,
security
well,
or
either
something.
that or like one of the little flowery
Hummingbird feeder.
Baskets.
Well, no, like one of the banners that you just hang and it says "Welcome to our garden" or something. Usually, or it looks like a fabric banner.
Okay.
Good, good.
So
What what is on the brick wall that faces the street? The solid wall with the fence?
Mm-hmm.
What is there before the fence starts?
Plants that won't stay alive.
And what's on the inside of that wall?
On the inside of the wall, where there are rosemary bushes. Prior to that, there was nothing.
what room is
Inside of
that?
the house? What
Inside of the
room? In the
no, on the other side of the fence, or the other side of the wall.
inside the house, other side of the wall.
That's the dining room.
Okay.
What kind of problems have you had there?
We don't really use it, so I would say not much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only place that we've ever heard things, now things go missing, things move, you put things down, they're not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's everywhere. But the only footsteps, I was the host for our women's church, our church group. And we would meet in either the family room or the dining room, and we were all sitting having our after Bible study, just kind of talk, and the girls facing upstairs saw a black thing walk across the catwalk, and they asked me, Jenny, who else is here? And I said,
Wow.
well, there's nobody here. And
Yeah.
they all ran out of my house.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they'll say it's a devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you called the Catholic Church at all? Because I mean, this is their specialty.
I haven't. I called our church. They blew it off.
They will blow it off though, because that's. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that the Catholic stuff is better. I'm not trying to say that kind of stuff. I'm just saying they'll take it really serious. They have these people to do these things for that, and pastors will blow people off and ministers all the time. I hear it daily.
Our old houses, if anything happened, my husband was Catholic, so he would just go and like get holy water and things and bring it home, and then we'd I would pray and I'd toss it all over the house. But since him, I haven't. I felt like it would be disingenuous to go to the Catholic church if I wasn't a Catholic, whereas he was.
I don't think it really matters. Like, I think it's just, prayer is prayer.
Yes.
So I don't think it really matters that much. I mean,
Well,
like I said, like I've had Jewish people and it, and it works as well. Other religions, and I'll come in and be like, well, this is what I do, to get rid of it. And they're like, oh my God, it's so clear. Thank you. I mean, I feel like it is like Indian kind of attached to the property. And I feel like it is following you with a darkness. That is also feeding off of your trauma that you experienced with him, even maybe possibly from childhood.
I would
love to church.
contact.
I mean, the Catholic Church. I'd love it.
I would definitely contact the Catholic Church if the church,
Yeah.
the priest himself, does not
Yeah,
accept what you're
perform
saying.
it.
Go to a different one.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
Me too.
go to somebody who takes you serious until you
Yeah.
just call down the list.
Mhm.
Yeah. You have basilica nearby and all? Like any kind of basilica, cathedral,
We don't.
anything that's close? Even if it's like 2 hours away, it's still considered that close. So,
yes.
Well,
I
yeah,
will-
there are a lot in Dallas. Here we have I think we have an Anglican church, and then I think we have one Catholic church. I think, but yeah, I don't have a problem driving anywhere I need to go.
I have a friend in Texas who knows a lot of the priests in the state. I will contact him and see. Now I don't know how long it's going to take because he's retired fireman moonlighting as a paramedic right now, doing life flights.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I don't know how long it'll take him to get back to me because he usually does 12-hour shifts. So,
Mhm.
but he's usually
I'd
pretty
say call
good.
the archdiocese.
I'll ask him which one to go to
Okay.
and see if we can get some movement that way. And yeah, Meg's right.
Call the
Call the
archdiocese.
state. Yeah, call the state archdiocese. So
Your
Yeah.
but your closest one is St. Jude's Catholic Church in Mansfield.
And okay, yeah, that's the. I think that's the one that I've seen.
So
No,
Yeah.
I can tell you from personal experience. Like, my husband is Catholic. I am very much so not Catholic.
she doesn't like all the exercise we do.
I guess I would be considered agnostic. I'm not really sure, but I have gone to Catholic church and I've talked to the Catholic priests and everything else, and most of them, 90% of them, are very welcoming to people, no matter what denomination you're coming from.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Honestly, because I mean, I'm in Ohio, so ours is out of Cincinnati, but like it's usually located in the capital of a state, and you call the archdiocese of that state, they're going to be taking it very serious because they don't mess around. So go to the top first.
good.
I always say shoot for the moon and see what you get back.
Now, I will say, though, stay away from anybody who claims to be a random ghost hunter that's going to ask you for a deposit up front or anything
any
like
money.
that.
correct.
If they ask for money,
Yes.
That's not something,
Walk
not
away.
a road you want to go down at all.
Gotcha.
I just say
Used
stay
to,
away from ghost
I
hunters who want to come in your house. It'll piss it off.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, if anything,
it used
it'll make it worse instead of better because they're
yeah
not there to clear it; they're
Yeah.
just there to prove it, and then they leave
yeah
after they've already
Yes.
poked the
And they
beast.
will take it off like, oh yeah, you want to play? And especially the men who have,
yeah.
yeah, it's not
You
good.
used to do emergency work, and it can really
Yeah, you can get
going in
some interesting people.
clean up the
Mhm.
cleanup after a paranormal group that has been there
Yeah,
that does not know what the hell they're doing
Is
can be
terrible.
extremely traumatic,
bad,
dramatic, and cause a lot of
really
problems.
bad.
So
Yeah, I thought about that because I do watch paranormal shows, and I'm thinking a lot of people just walk in and poke that beehive, and then they walk
yeah,
off.
Yeah,
And
and
I
they
was
they
yeah,
don't
actually, yeah,
really do any
I was going to
follow
talk
up
to you about that.
afterwards. It's just kind of, hey, we saw it. Cool, it exists. Bye, have fun.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, no.
But here's the thing: if you're watching horror movies and you're watching paranormal stuff, and you have that playing in your house a lot, they feed off that. They do.
I thought
I tell people turn that stuff off when you're there. You can watch it when you're outside the house. Do not watch that stuff and have it playing because it makes it worse. It feeds it.
I found that out the hard way.
mhm.
I see
I
your daughter looking at you, so I'm like,
I
mm-hmm.
found that out the very hard way. We had to that at one point when we were watching a lot of horror movies. It got so bad that
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was at each other's throat. It was
It
horrible.
intensified the situation.
And I went to church and I did have them pray for us, and they said, when did this start? And I remembered it was back to this really bad one we watched that I didn't realize had a lot of chanting and things. And then I did research on it to find out that they were really reading from the Book of the Dead. And yeah, and it was bad. So after that, I'm much, much more careful.
There was, yeah, like one room I was doing a cleansing in like years ago, and I walked past it and it had a TV, just a TV and a playroom for her grandkids. And I heard, turn it off. And I just saw a bunch of shadow people. And it was because of you're inviting darkness and death and the worst kind of, and just, it's just the devil literally into your house when you're watching that kind of stuff. I mean, Ghost Hunters is the only thing that I ever approve because I think that they were doing a really good job in trying to help people. The other stuff now, you just kind of don't know what's real and what's not. And there's so much AI and there's just so much dramatization for, money and numbers. Just
based for
stay away from it.
entertainment. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
based for
Which is
entertainment.
sad that people think it's entertainment when people are being tortured. So it's like,
Well,
Yeah.
and
it's
yeah,
Well,
really
and
not
a lot
If
good.
you're
of it
gonna,
isn't real. It's the other side of it.
yeah,
Right.
but if you're gonna play anything, Hallmark
Mhm.
Channel.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
kidding.
Or the
And
Christian
He's right.
anything
Love and life.
because they'll get so ticked off when you're playing endless Christian
Yep.
stuff.
mhm.
Yes, that
Hmm.
that too.
but
That too.
We used to play that in my mom's not hospital room, nursing home room
yeah, it
was
brings positive energy into the room.
the Hallmark
Yes.
channel
Mhm.
just because of that.
So
Well,
And they
now
try to
there's
put it
like a
on
separate
sports. It's
channel
like,
that's
no.
all, it's like a godly Christian, like a godly
yes,
form
Yeah.
of Hallmark.
Mhm.
I forget what it's called, but like it's a really good one and it's all positive. Everything's about the Bible versus faith and things like you can be,
well,
anything, Christian to,
and it
Catholic to
doesn't.
whatever.
I have to
It
be
just
very
hits you.
honest.
Yeah,
In my car, I listen to. I used to listen to nothing but Christian music, but I have to be very honest. In the house, I wouldn't play it because
You're
after
afraid of
that
me.
that well after that period of quiet where I didn't have it bothering me anymore, when it came back, it was so loud that I wouldn't even play Christian music in the house because I couldn't stand it screaming at me.
well, you guys aren't staying there tonight, right? Like
No,
right now. So
no.
what I would do is honestly, like, if you can leave a device there that can play continuously,
Yes.
fill
Mm-hmm.
that house with as much positive energy as you can by
Loves.
playing these
Yep.
things, and
Okay.
because it differentiates from the horror films, because like the horror films and the paranormal shows that are
Yeah,
Yep.
he's
honestly,
right.
like I don't endorse any paranormal shows, friend,
I
because
don't.
I can't.
Mm.
Friend, if you get
No,
paid
neither
to
can
do
I.
this,
Hmm.
you are doing it for the money, straight up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I was part of a paranormal team that when I first joined, they got offered a show, and I told the leader that if they took it, I'm out. Um, you shouldn't like. We're there to help people. We're not
Yep.
there to make money. We all have jobs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, friend, but it differentiates from it because the negative energy from those shows and from horror films feed it,
Yes.
whereas these just
Yeah.
piss it off and starve it.
Yeah.
So
I thought
Mhm.
about that way too late. That 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 what I was watching was probably not good. But then I was also almost obsessively drawn to watching them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yep.
want you to do that.
That's
Also,
just
crime shows,
Even
2020s, murder
yes,
shows, don't do that.
Yeah,
yes.
because they're
They do that
hungry
on
and they need
purpose.
something to feed off of, and they feed off of
Yep.
fear and they feed off of anger. So
so
Oh,
Rosella had me
because when
send
I
you two things.
Yeah.
oh my
I
gosh,
sent
I did not know that it was also horror. I mean, not horror, but crime shows. Because after I stopped
oh
Yep.
yes.
And don't
obsessively
listen to
watching the
podcasts that deal
paranormal
with anger.
shows, I got pulled into watching like serial killer shows and falling
Yep.
asleep to
Yeah.
serial killer shows.
yeah.
I dated a
And you
psycho, all these things. Yep.
positivity. Create as much positivity as you possibly can. Love
Yep.
everything about love. Permeate it.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
if you really want to piss it off, Veggie Tales.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Kim's
um,
will take it
Oh,
off.
so a
I had an
couple of
old man
other
in my house. Yes, that's true.
a couple of other like quick little things that you can do to kind of cause some positivity and some light in there. Um, if you are drawn to any specific types of stones,
Oh, uh, 100%,
okay,
100. I
and uh-huh.
in
Tourmaline.
this renovation, our whole entire fireplace is quartz.
Okay.
Um,
Holy
I
shit!
bought, we bought a pure quartz countertops for our kitchen and our bathroom. I'm changing the entire house to nothing but real actual stone and wood and natural things. Let's see, it's we have quartz, we have amethyst, we have selenite. It's in everything. Every piece of artwork is just that.
Now,
Okay.
but I got a question for you. Is there anything in your house that's made out of stone, or any particular stones that you have touched that you feel energized from?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Walk it
so
It's
around.
go
it's
around
a
or
coot.
go try and find what would you call that, Nikki? What kind of store?
Uncut.
What?
What kind of store
I
would you
didn't
go
hear
to?
you.
A
What kind of store?
metaphysical
A
store.
metaphysical store?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
metaphysical.
And find that particular stone in a small format that you can carry around with you.
Like either in a necklace form
Or
or in a keychain form or a
Or just a
bracelet
pure
or
stone.
just a stone you can keep in your
yep,
pocket.
raw.
Raw tourmaline, raw black tourmaline is the only thing that I trust, and then amethyst to block and
But
protect.
everybody's different, so you've got to
So it's
find what
whatever
works
draws
for
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black
Um,
tourmaline for me, I cannot keep it in my pocket. The
it
moment I put it in
disappears.
there, it disappears, and I don't have holes in my
Mm.
pockets. It just
Oh
it's
God.
gone.
So the other thing that some people think I'm a little strange for is red brick dust. Okay.
She's
Okay.
right, it works.
Red brick dust works,
And
and
Yes.
where do you put that?
that would be thresholds or that would be
Hmm.
windowsills.
Windows.
I was just
Yep.
gonna say, yeah.
That's
Okay.
not
And
so
Well,
strange.
if you
that's
have a
Or
place
if
to
you
go,
circle your house in red brick dust.
Yep.
what was that?
No.
Circle the
or
house
if you
Circle
what?
have
the house in red brick dust.
Can we go around the whole house with red brick dust?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I would do the outside perimeter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in basements. If you got a basement there, do the basement as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, so the Catholic Church will too. They'll bring in like they'll do holy water, and they'll do your whole property, like around your entire foundation, your whole house inside and outside, and then line the property. But they'll also do it with like holy salts as well,
Yes.
where they tell the demons that they cannot cross that threshold. My neighbors even did it, and I do it every like July. I just do it myself as well. But basically, I have a bad neighbor across the street. They have not bothered me for 2 years. They just don't even come like on my property or anything anymore. So, yeah, it whatever works, you know.
I will
She
say
She can
though,
tell you.
To each their own.
She can tell you about my salt fetish.
Oh,
That's how I felt that I kept us safe in our rooms at
Wow.
night.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
blessing our rooms and then doing our
Yeah.
thresholds with salt, so it couldn't follow us into our rooms.
the church.
Well, make sure it's
may
like
ask-
exercised,
The church may ask for a donation, and
and that's normal.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
totally fine.
What was the
Right.
other thing I was going to tell you?
Sell her or
gemstones.
tell
Away
her.
from my head. For-
Keep gemstones around your ankles and your wrists.
Well, and I sent Cole like some two
That's
things
it.
that might help. Yeah,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
So that first
yeah.
video, Rosella, that is a teaching guide to grounding and shielding.
Okay.
hmm
So I need, like, if you guys can, like, tonight, go over that and start doing it.
White light yourself.
I would
Yeah.
almost say twice a day right now.
Oh yeah. Maybe three.
Yeah.
If you have extra time, just do it.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the particular video she sent you, but if you can, get your feet into raw soil when you do it. Like, get your feet into the ground.
Okay.
Or like a stream.
Yeah, or a
Streams
stream.
I know.
streams
So
have
some
power
people are
too.
different. Some people are ground. Some people are water. I'm water. So yeah. Like
I
if you.
I do both.
I think I'm
I do
ground
both.
because you can't see it on that Google picture. That's a really old one. But the house is surrounded by flowers, and I use my bare hands. I dig in the dirt, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's
And
important.
I buried selenite and quartz crystals around the whole
Good.
house and the
Oh, that's
garden
good.
and around all my plants.
What this basically is you are pushing all the negative energy, all the negative, like anything negative within you,
Yes.
into the soil
Yeah.
to be re-energized. And
Okay.
you are pulling up a shield
Of
Yep.
pure light,
of pure
and
light
energy.
and energy up over yourself. So when I
Yeah.
do
Like.
it,
mhm.
I use a tree, and I feel the roots in the soil, and
Yep.
Okay.
I actually can feel, in a way, the bark surrounding me of that tree.
Okay.
Okay, now if you get into higher consciousness with it, Cole, you can actually, and you get to be telepathic with the trees. The trees will actually take you in your higher consciousness form through their root system, and they will energize you.
Okay, so I'm not crazy that I hug my tree out in the front yard.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Matter of fact, you're probably releasing the negative energy
And just
from
not
you.
realizing
The
it.
tree, yeah, not realizing it. And the tree is taking that in, dispersing it through the roots, through its other friends, and returning positivity and love to you.
And
Yes,
then
'cause
some people do it in the
I
shower.
hug her quite often.
Like there's
Yeah.
a shower technique you can do where you can
There's
feel
all
like the water
sorts.
pouring over you. There's
Yep.
a bunch of different things. Yeah.
Yep.
I
So
will
There's
say,
all sorts of things.
some people think I'm weird with the tree thing because, like, even everyone on here, because I believe in tough love
So-
too. So, like, my mother-in-law had a fruit tree that wouldn't grow fruit for 7 years, and
Oh
I,
no.
Talked about
I
this,
read
yes.
I read online that if you kick a tree, it'll start producing fruit. So
Oh, no!
I gave it a small kick at the base. That next year we had 40 apples. The
Oh,
year after, we filled 5 tubs. of apples.
You
Wow.
kick-started it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Like everything in this world
Wow.
sometimes just need a little tough love.
Well, she's a big, huge bald cypress, and she's very, very, very calming for me.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
go and talk to her and hug her quite often.
Well, try to go sit underneath it too and do the white light
Yes.
meditation. Like,
Yeah.
and I tell
Yep.
people practice, like I'm a person who says practice makes perfect. We're never really perfect, which is true, but try 3 times a day or like 3 day. I'm a big 3 person, but just trying like, okay, like I'm going to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something, but you're making time. And, if it's 5 minutes that you focus, you gain and you gain and you gain. So it's not gonna come fast. That's why I also sent the Archangel Michael protection prayer. You call for Archangel Michael in that house and ask for all the angels to come and ask for working angels as well. Say all working angels, they're free agents. They're waiting for someone to ask. They're not attached to anybody as guardian angels, what people say guardian angels on earth. You just say, all working angels, please come. Archangel Michael, please put an angel at every door, window, and archway. Surround me at my bed or wherever you are. Protect my pets. Stand in front of their cages. Whatever you need, you ask for it and you will receive that. And you'll feel the peace. You'll feel the peace that they're there. And it'll get fed up that it might just leave on its own if you do all these things. So it could be play that Christian music, play that good channel, and just kind of like Cole said, leave a recording, kind of like leave a device to just keep playing it, do these things. It might just get fed up and go on its own. That sometimes happens.
That would be very nice.
I would still
But
call the
also be nice-
archdiocese in case, but yeah.
But also be nice to play these things when I'm out of the house, when I'm not here, because I don't want
Right.
to hear when it's
And
playing.
you might come back and find it broken. I'm not gonna lie. Like
we have I've put on like just like the healing frequencies before,
Okay.
and I'll leave and the TV is not supposed to go off and it will go off. I'll come back and it's off.
Yeah.
I would
So-
get like a cheap
right.
Google
Cheap, yes.
device or like a Alexa or something like that.
Hmm.
Have it
Yeah.
in
You don't
there
care that
and
it breaks.
just- yeah,
You know?
and just rotate that music through there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would honestly use an old phone.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
An Alexa.
Well, they can mess with phones so easily, though.
They can let it mess with Alexa too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to come
Yeah.
back to one of those freaky laughing Alexas.
No, you
Oh,
come
God.
back to all of a sudden your Amazon is corrupt.
Yeah. That's,
No.
Well, if you just have
no.
a radio or something, that you can put a Christian channel on and just leave. Also,
Oh, yeah.
baby steps until you find some other object that you can play too. But at least that's something right now you can do overnight, maybe when you leave, and you're not leaving something expensive behind tonight. But yeah, and just play it for like a few weeks or something. I mean, just see. It might just drive it out. It on its own. Holy water on every single door, window, archway, over every window, every wall, and bless every single wall. I say Our Father, and I do the Archangel Michael prayer pretty much first. Do the one Our Father, 3 Hail Marys, and ask for Mary's help because she is the Queen of Angels and they fear her the most.
Okay.
And she's the one who usually, the 2 archangels, Raphael and Michael, who usually drive them out, and Mother Mary in the end, whenever I'm doing it. They get really ticked off. You can scream at it. The more you get angry at it, the more it's going to be like, oh, I'm not going to win. Now she's ticked off. I'm really not going to win this battle. And now Mary is here. I'm gone. So it might just leave on its own.
I feel a lot better. She was very little and young when all of this started, and then we just kind of didn't talk about it anymore, and just
Well, and that's what they want you to do. The bad spirit wants you to do that.
we just ignore it. But now she is a very, very, like, I'm a little scary still. She is not. She is fearless, absolutely fearless. So I'm feeling a whole lot better.
But until you actually get pissed off enough to be like, you guys got to be united front and go in there to drive it out, or it's
Can't I
going
just
to
send
keep
her?
feeding off of your fear. Yes, Yeah, because it's going to
Needed-
feed off of your fear.
You need backup.
Now
Yeah.
I'm getting Robert's
Okay,
speaking
so
Australian to me on the chat, and I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
so ladies, I've got a question for you. Would you mind if I had somebody that I know that's on the other side do a walkthrough?
No, that's fine.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have them go in right now. Just a second. They're literally already crossed. So just I gotta.
So,
I
did you
needed
ever go
permission
back to the
first.
massage therapist again?
Yes, yes. I've been to her many times.
And
Yes.
does she see anything with you anymore?
I have not seen her since I would say since this started, everything was fine. Since the house renovation is what really stirred it up again, really, because it was supposed to be just change the carpet and paint, and then my now husband, started tearing walls down and moving things around and getting rid of everything, and that's when it really fired up.
Yeah.
And I went back to her, and she told me that there were several things following me, including a twin I did not know I had, she said. Um, and she did some more work on me. This one, she said, was um, uh, so close to not being here spiritually when she was younger that she had a hard time working on her. She would have to go ground herself because she was so almost ready to, I guess, ascend spiritually. And then her father got to her, and just all of that went out the door. And she came crashing down to the ground. And yeah, and that's the same time we started the house renovation.
Okay.
And so and we're both very empathic, and so it was terrible. It was
That
just
is
terrible.
another question I had.
Boundaries.
Either of you still have contact with your ex?
I do not. She finally, she was a daddy's girl, and he was so terrible that she finally had to cut him off completely. Yeah,
Okay,
she
so
doesn't
so
speak to him
that
at
was
all.
kind of leading to my next question. He's not any better then, obviously, after
No,
leaving the
no.
house.
What was that?
After leaving the house.
Oh God, no, worse, much
Easily
worse.
aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to take him to church, and he admitted that he just went there, and that it was just nice words. He didn't feel anything. Nothing changed for him, but he liked being, the big guy that everyone looked up to, and working around the church and things like that. And then when we got divorced, he got remarried, of course, and they would mock her for being a Christian, and for saying grace and things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We knew them.
we're
Boundaries.
multi-denominational podcast. We do not believe in. We don't like to put down any religion. Friend,
Exactly, exactly.
my son is 17 now. He's been exploring religions for the last little while, and he's even looked into some that I really want to make fun of, but out of respect for him, I cannot. So, but like, he's looked into the Church of the Spaghetti Monster. Have you guys heard of that one?
No,
Are you serious?
Yes, he actually
Oh my
has.
god.
Friend,
Oh wow. Wow.
and then
You know how John is.
yeah, then he broke off and decided
Yeah.
he's just going to start his own. Friend,
Learn
so
something new every day.
friend, yeah, no, like he went and looked through. He hasn't gone to the Catholic Church yet because he found out that 8 a.m. is really early on a Sunday. But um,
This is why you have YouTube.
yeah, right. Right.
This
It's too early, Rosella, for him to even get on a screen. So that boy needs his beauty sleep. Right. But he
yeah.
we have always believed in trying to embrace all religions. I love learning about other people's religions.
I do too.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very,
cool.
very, very much so. The only one I will not explore, and I've explored pretty much every single one of them, and done at least some research on them, is the Church of Satan. I don't have any desire to delve into that, but past that, I've been completely open.
So, like, I actually have delved into that a little bit, and just out of morbid curiosity, and then I found out they're not bad people. They don't believe in the same Satan that Christians and Catholics do. It's not the same thing. And some of their rules for their church, I can get down with. Like the idea that if you commit a crime against another person, and you go to church to confess it, well, the church needs to tell. They need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do something bad enough, like if a man commits a crime against a woman, like a sexual crime, well, then maybe they don't need to report it, but it still needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind that so much, but like, I've looked at Hinduism, I've looked at Buddhism, Judaism. One of my nieces is a converted Jew, and she actually moved to Israel, and then just started popping out kids like crazy. It's awesome. So, but every religion has its merits and its good points.
Definitely.
And as long as you take the good things from, like, I've been told, like, number one, I call myself a bad Catholic because I don't go to church. I don't do all the things I'm supposed to. And I have a very good relationship with God, though. Me and him are good. Just me and the priest don't agree.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
Yeah.
But I also consider myself a buffet Catholic.
Pick.
I pick and choose what I want, and I leave the rest, because there's a lot of things that in the Bible that I
do
just can't
too.
get down with. But it's mostly the stuff that no longer can apply to our world today.
Yeah, like Cole and I kind of have the same opinions about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And but right now, Robert and Nikki are both working on your house at the same time.
That's
and
wonderful.
working together.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that something will come of this. But even if it does, you guys still need to watch that video that Rosella sent. Use that prayer that she sent.
Definitely.
The reason being is because if they're able to get rid of the entity in the home, your ex-husband carries major negative vibes.
Yeah.
And if
you need to let that go and surrender that.
If you can't get a full disconnect from him, you're never going to get away from this. There will always be things following you from him and from other people that you meet.
Yes.
Yes.
There's some other things, if you want to give Cole my personal number out, like I can talk to you about like some books and things like that. Like I agree with Cole 100%. You need boundaries, and you need to heal from that trauma, and that's a lot of the stuff that I do with like my clients and stuff like that too, like guided meditations for trauma, things like that, and like healing, kind of just putting everything that he's done like in a little, like a bubble in a way, and letting it, surrendering it up to God and or your higher power, whatever it is. But you need to surrender that up, or it's going to keep doing this to you, because it's preying on that darkness that you have, that trauma.
Yes. It just so happened that our service this last Sunday was about forgiveness and things, and I think
good. Signs.
Probably, yeah, very much. I took it as a major sign, because I think probably the only person that either one of us has not been able to forgive, and it kind of haunts, is him.
Well, and
True.
it's hard too because that forgiveness. Sometimes we even think we forgive, we think we've surrendered it, and then they make us upset. Something happens, and then it comes back. So you have to kind of do the work again. So I tell people we're humans. We fall off the human wagon. So when we do, don't blame. Like remember Cole said that kind of at the beginning of the show. Don't you got to forgive yourself for what you did not know you walked into, and you just need to just go forward and get back on that wagon again and do it again. But and I can give you like a step-by-step thing of what I do to get rid of entities. Like I said, I helped this woman in Michigan. She had 2 houses, and they were extremely. It was very demonic. It was a bad one, and I wouldn't even call it a wannabe. I would call it. It was definitely a demon. And it was related to a property too. It started that way, and then it got into her grandson who was living there, and because of his trauma, it just. So, it was not good, and it'll just keep following you everywhere. You don't want it following her or your other child too. So.
Now, what do I do though with my oldest? And I think that's where the problem came is I forgave him for myself, but then once she cut him off and I realized that he had hurt her bad enough to where this child who loves everyone was willing to cut him off, then I hated him for her.
Okay, here's what I gotta
Right.
ask you. What do you think forgiveness is for? Like, who do you think it's for?
Oh, it's for us. It's for us. But then because she was having such a hard time and couldn't forgive, I just wanted to choke him for her. I'm just the mama bear.
Right.
And then
Right.
my oldest, who he had no relationship whatsoever, he wiggled his way into her life and continues to lie and manipulate to be with her. And so whenever she's around him and then comes around us, it flares.
You got to do that surrendering again. That's my advice. Like learning how to do it and let it go, which is the hardest thing as human beings, I think, is surrendering up other people's bad choices and the hurt and pain that it inflicts on us because they don't care. I think that's the hardest thing in life to do. Besides having a child.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Well, and
But
now
yeah.
you're okay. When you see her now, after you've learned to ground and shield, friend,
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah.
you're meditating on that shield, also realize that shield allows
You
your
can
empathetic
project it.
thoughts out, but not in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you're not taking in her negative energy, but you're allowing your positive energy to flow into her and your
Okay.
positive words in order to
Right.
help her.
Okay. Good. Because
And if you need to go under that tree and do it, if that helps, then do that. Do what works for you.
there was a time where I had a hard time touching her because I could feel the negativity. And unfortunately, she's dropped off the dark side. She's pretty dark.
Yeah, I
Pretty,
kind of picked up on that. Yeah.
pretty dark. Yeah. And
Nikki, you were not saying anything, but
and
They're both working on the house.
The other thing that
Yeah.
I will say about children, I have 4 of those little boogers. Is sometimes
yeah, she wins.
sometimes you do honestly, once they reach an age where they have their abilities to choose for themselves and they have the abilities to decide what they want in their life and what they don't want in their life, no matter how hard it is, and God, sometimes it can be so hard, we gotta kind of at the same time respect the decision that they've made and realize
Right.
that you need to be there for when inevitably something is going to get messed up in that, to be the support person to help them through after. Sometimes it's a hard life lesson that you gotta learn, but every once in a while there's something that they gotta just learn themselves and you just need to be there to pick up those pieces.
definitely.
Yeah, you got to let them hit their rock bottom on their own so that they can pick themselves up and then they'll come back.
Yes.
And I do see her coming back later, but she has to learn that first, like Kayla's saying.
Now,
Oh, she did. She
I do
did.
have
She
a
was.
question about her.
She was gone for 2 years, and then she came back.
Now I got a question.
But
Though. Does she believe
yes.
in this?
Oh yeah, she was terrified. I asked her if she wanted to be, here with us, and she said, "Oh no, I'm too scared."
Okay.
Yeah.
Send
get that.
video to her as well, and that prayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
And like I
we
said,
have-
yeah, if you want to text me, I will give you like directions.
Okay.
And I can do it also from here too. At the same time, like, okay, I'm like, okay, you're going to do it and you're going to go through the house and you're going to start now. Then I start now where I am.
Okay.
And
That sounds great.
so we're both doing it together at the same time and hitting him at the same time.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
That's how I found it works if I'm not physically able to be there. I would still say though, no matter what, blessing the church, like the house with like a pretty much a strong, efficient, sometimes like, and again, if the pastors and the ministers, they're not believing and they're passing it off, don't bring them in and invite them in. They will do no good. You need somebody very firm who knows and is very trained and educated, knows their stuff, and really going to cover your house. And heck, if they want to cover your house 3 times, let them cover your house 3 times. Right?
Yes.
You got to remember, even though like our Catholic priests are supposed to be the closest to God as you can get, they are still man. They are fallible.
Yes.
And
only human.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This.
Now,
So
I've got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Robert, may I read this out loud?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. He said third banister rail from the top has something inscribed into it, then painted over. I said yes. I said so in a closet too. So there's 2 locations. I'm not sure which location for the closet. It's a small closet. It's a small walk-in kind of closet, but there's something just like what Robert was describing on the third banister from the top, inscribed into it and then painted over. It's the same way on the inside of this closet. It's on the it looks like a little scratch and then painted over, but it's not a scratch. It's actually,
is it a ruin?
it's almost like somebody tried to write something.
Stopped.
But stopped, yeah. And the
Yeah, it's
only
in the
time
dark
I've ever,
room. That they
the
did
only
call it the dark room to me.
yeah, and that's where one of these things went running to. So, because when I asked permission for this being to come in and double check, that's where he chased one of these beings into that closet. And on the inside of the door, so if you're on the inside of the closet facing out, it'll door jam. That's the word I was looking for. It's on the door jam. I keep seeing it on the left side, but it's very possible that I'm mixing it up because I'm getting mixed up when I come into the closet and I'm getting mixed up when I come out of the closet, which is not normal for me. So I'm not sure which side it's on, but I'm 5'2.5", so it's at eye level for me.
Okay.
So that's about how high up it is on the inside of the closet, and it's almost like somebody took a needle, like a sewing needle or something, or straight pin needle
Robert,
from a sewing kit.
Robert, you need to turn off your background.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh, the
something?
background's
Is it something that my daughter could have done? Because she's like 5'3".
Well, if
it's
at
possible,
5'3"
but
height, it's probably someone who's taller.
Taller.
Yes, Robert. Yeah, that's yeah.
She's gonna take a picture of that.
Hold on, Robert.
Hang on, Robert. Hold it. There you go.
Hold it up
Go
again.
for it.
Okay.
So that's the third banister from the top, and one of the closets.
Yeah,
that's
on
a
the
small
inside of
walk-in.
the. Yeah.
Okay.
Just put the holy water and the salt over it, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Well, I
And
would do that,
say
and
the
then I would
prayers.
scrape it till it's
I
gone.
Oh, I'm-
literally just got shown putting a Jewish.
Or
What is
sand it.
the thing for the Jewish?
Star of David.
It's not a Star of David. It's the silver thing that's put at an angle above a door.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
I
am
think it's the little
literally being
scroll.
Yes, the
I'm
scroll.
literally being shown to put that above the inside of the closet door. Now I've never come across that before. I've always been told crosses, but this is very specific to whatever this is.
The end.
It requires that symbol over that door inside, not on the outside, but on the inside of that closet.
Yeah, they last
Are you
forever.
talking
Yeah.
about a mezuzah?
I think that's what
I
they're
think that's
called.
what
I
it's
don't.
called. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a protection. It's a form of a protection symbol.
Yeah, it's a little scroll
Now
inside of like
that
a
is
metal
another
casing.
thing that I am
Okay.
reminded of.
Right.
Friend, you guys live in Texas right now.
Yes.
You said you're originally from California. Friend,
Yes.
so you might not know this. I'm originally from Alberta, Canada.
Oh,
And
nice.
in geography, or
Sorry.
in layman's terms, we are what they say sister areas. Friend, we both raise animals, we
Oh.
both farm. Friend, like both of our areas are very similar in that sense. One of the things I would do for your house is if you can go to an old blacksmith
Yes.
and find,
Mm-hmm.
have them make you a horseshoe.
Yes.
Two horses.
Okay.
Two horses. One
Yes.
for the front door, one for the back door. And you
Yes.
Okay.
put them above the door, facing up.
Yeah.
So,
With the
so the hole's
with it
at
open
the top.
on the top.
The
Opening on the
chimney
top.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chimney as well.
Oh yeah, chimney as well.
Okay.
It's bringing prosperity and luck into your home and
Nice.
filling it.
Nice. I would love to
So,
do that.
It's something that means a lot in Alberta and in Texas as well. If you guys ever go out to like the areas with the big ranches, you will notice them on every single door.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like it's something my family has done in almost every house we have. I haven't done it on this house right now because, well,
Mhm.
I haven't met a blacksmith in years.
We have a lot of horses around here, so yes, I think I can find one.
Right. And we live in Washington, so for
Mhm.
I think like I have a moose and a Bigfoot on the sides of my door. I think I'm good. For,
There's also that called that Benedict thing that you can get to hang over your door. Remember, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Benedict.
What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I forget. I mean, some people I've seen people have it, but it's like it's this. I don't know. It's like a. It looks kind of like a wind chime in a way, but it's for Benedict. If you look up like Benedict protection, for your house, it usually comes right up.
It's like
I do
the
not know
Saint.
what it's called.
It's the Saint Benedict medals for the door.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I don't have one because I'm have others like just crosses and other things that I have blessings and I do it like every New Year's Eve. So I don't really have it, but
It's
I have a
kinda-
lot of people swear by it.
That's what I say. It's kind of like a keychain / dream catcher thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
put that where? Just over the doors or the windows?
Over
too?
your front door
Front
or
door.
over every door.
Okay.
Like, you know,
Um,
I have a client who has it over just
Well-
their front door and she's like, I'm fine. And then some who have every single door.
According to the Catholic Church, you hang it on the doorknob or a hook
Mm-hmm.
Doorknob.
Okay.
off the door.
Okay.
It includes a Saint Benedict's crucifix and a Saint Benedict medal, or two Saint
Yep.
Benedict's medal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds good.
Usually,
I can do
that
that.
is what
I would
main
say
church
the-
would cover.
Saint Benedict prayer and like Archangel Michael prayer because Archangel Michael works with everybody. So I would say
Yes,
those two.
It does.
Why you put it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you feel fear, call Michael
Michael.
and God and include God in everything that you're doing. because he's the creator. So
And
I
that
always
one would be
acknowledge.
especially helpful for you because actually what it stands for is the
Mhm.
power of prayer in times of temptation and suffering.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And Michael is excellent. I've been allowed to use
Amazing.
his sword on a couple of occasions, and I'm here to
To
tell
save
you,
my life. Hmm.
he's done some absolutely incredible things in my life and other people's lives that I have witnessed and have fought for. So, yeah,
Yeah.
call on Michael.
Every home
No joke.
banishment, I've always used him. Yeah, him, Archangel Raphael, they work together. But
Yeah,
Michael and like asking for those angels, and like I said, if you want,
yeah.
to text
Always
me and I'll
ask for
send you a
angels.
list.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be
and ask
wonderful.
for working angels
Please.
too, because they're sitting around bored.
Yes.
They have to be asked, and then they will come.
I didn't know there
Yeah.
were working angels. I pray for like warrior angels to come, my guardian angels to come, but I've never asked for a working angel. I didn't know that there was such a thing.
The
You can
warrior
even
angels
ask
would be
for
archangels.
sentinel angels because the
Mm-hmm.
sentinel angels will watch a piece of property for up to 1,000 years or more if it
Yep.
needs be. And I've
Oh,
worked
gosh.
on property that has had to have more than one sentinel angel on it because of all the horrible stuff that went on the property, of course. So um, you can do that as well. The other thing is that if rubber meets the road and you're not able to access all of that, get nails, actual 2-inch nails,
Mhm.
strap them together in a cross using metal wire, put it above every door, every window, coming and going.
Coming and going? Oh gosh. Okay. They're like 30
So
years.
every door on the inside and
Yeah.
like the front door, the outdoor, front door, back door, inside and out of those doors. Um, Bedroom doors, inside and out if you can get away with it. Windows only on the
Yeah.
inside. And
Yeah.
if it's an enormously big window, do 2 or 3 or even 4 going across, span it across.
Okay.
But you can
So
also
I
go
mean,
like, yeah, and buy them
I've
from
done
like a
that.
craft store too, like little
Yeah, I mean,
ones.
I've done that kind of thing, but if rubber me if it comes down to it and it becomes a finance issue, try that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a last resort type of technique, but it does work.
Rosella, did you
Okay.
say
Yeah.
you
And
want
you're
me to pass on her number to you? Or your number to her? I mean,
You can, yeah, if she wants, yeah, it's
can you
up
send it
to,
to me where
you.
at? Because I don't actually have it.
You don't have my
Better,
number, silly?
better do that
I
with the
used to,
if you
but
have
then I
manholes in the roof too.
everything.
Put them in the top of the manholes, the cross type things, because that's another access point.
in
Ah.
what holes? I didn't hear it, Robert.
Manholes in the roof,
Oh,
in the ceiling,
manholes.
The
like
Yes.
the
manholes, vent
The
holes.
vent
Attic
holes
hole.
for the
Attic.
yeah.
Attic.
attic space
Attic.
type thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was actually glad you kind of mentioned that because so they love dwellings, so they love attics,
Yeah,
they like
I
closets,
Basements.
Yes.
basements, and that is kind of what Nikki was describing, chasing it into. They keep calling it the dark room. That's where your husband like dwelled. It's the darkness that he had in there, so they keep calling it the dark room. But that is what they're using it this as this dwelling right now. So when you notice that maybe there is no activity, but now you're hearing footsteps, like say in the attic, or if you have a basement or a crawl space, some closets, you still need to go and do the same precautions again, like call the priest back, go do the blessings, you know, you scream at it, get out, this is my home, get out. You scream at it and get mad, like,
Okay.
Since all
and
this
just
a lot less
has to be
than now,
united front.
we've been busy. So,
The other thing is that the anger needs to come from your core
Yes,
mm,
because you need to mean it with
really,
everything in
really mean it.
not from the
you need
mind,
to
just from
yes,
the heart and body.
Yep.
you need
Oh,
to mean it because what happens is when you do that kind of energy,
Hmm.
you're literally forbidding them
From coming
from
Yes.
back.
being around you. And you have to take, and that goes with each
Yeah.
person, not just mom, but
Mm-hmm.
each daughter.
Mhm.
You
You've
have
got
to
to
be
do
united
that
front too.
go from the head to the core and
Mhm.
make it as powerful as you possibly can. Because let me tell you, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how powerful you are until you have to stand there and you're
Exactly.
standing your. This is your
Yes.
sovereignty.
Mhm.
Yep.
So like
She's
Okay.
right.
righteous anger, because I'm always
It
afraid
is.
to
It's
be
righteous.
angry
It's
Yes.
here
righteous
because
anger.
it makes us so agitated and angry.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
righteous
Use that
anger,
arrogance.
and when you use that from your
From your
core,
soul. You know.
from your core, from your soul, you then have much more power.
Okay.
Mhm.
Get
Okay.
mad at it. This is your home. You built this. It's trying to take it. And it's trying to
Yeah.
ruin your daughter's life. Look how much it's taken. Get mad
Yeah.
and tell it off. Tell it
Yeah.
how you feel. Tell it that it's not going to win. And then invite God in there and then ask
Yeah.
God to take it out of your house. They
I've always
will.
been afraid to use anger because I thought that was
Oh God,
negative.
no, you have to get really pissed off.
Okay,
I use
so
the
It's
F
the
word
weepy.
big time
It's
when
the
I'm doing it.
it's the
okay,
weepy kind of anger that they will feed on.
yeah,
So it
Yes.
Mhm.
has. So that's the
Any
difference. It has
weakness.
to be. It's like the righteous anger that you were talking about. That's the
Okay.
kind of anger that you need from your core.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I'll
Yeah.
say, like, okay, just before we go and stuff too, I mean, I've been through this. I wrote a book about
Yeah. Same
like
here.
9 years old to 38, and I'm still learning at 45.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you're learning something every single day. I've helped a ton of
Yes.
people because of what I've gone through. So you're probably going through this too to help other people. You might not know it
Very
now,
true.
but we
Yeah.
always go for something. The Lord will send us
Yes.
these things for a lesson, so this is a lesson, and you really need to have firm boundaries. And like I said, if you do text me, I'm going to send you some books too, so this kind of stuff doesn't happen with humans in your life or any kind of spiritual bad darkness. Keeping darkness away. You need to train yourself to keep that darkness away because you're an
And it
empath. You need to protect
and
yourself.
it happens to every
Yes.
single one of us. So you are not
Yes.
alone.
And
That's
you're
You
not
are
right.
not
Like I
crazy.
said,
alone
I
in
was
this.
hoping you were going to tell me I was crazy, but
You're
No,
getting
not
help
crazy.
is just as
you're
good.
not. You're not crazy. This is very much happening.
I work with the
I'm glad
police
you guys
and
have
do
not been
crimes.
thrown down the
You're not
stairs or
crazy.
anything like that. I'm very
Um,
glad that you got, in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things, you have not been thrown down the stairs. You have
Yeah.
not had this.
You're
There's
lucky.
so many things that could be taking place with this. So I'm
She's
very
right.
glad that it's not gotten to that. It's gotten to a very significant level. Don't get me wrong, but it's not to the point to where it's killing, and that.
Right. I mean, sometimes I've had people's like ovens sporadically turn on and catch fire and burn their house down. These things are evil. So,
oh yeah.
take your house back. You have
Well,
the
you've got
right
a mad
to do
spirit
that.
at the same time. You've got a couple of things going on here.
You
you know
So
really
it's
what?
not
do.
just one or two things.
Just
You've got the
Yeah.
spirit that's like pissed off. He's
I'm
from the 1800s, and there's a thing there going on with the land. I've been working on that, and he better calm his ass down, or he's going to be dealing with a bunch of angels on the other side and me. So
Thank
All
you.
he
those
doesn't like
angels.
Thank
doesn't
you.
like me right
listening
now.
to what
So
Rosella just said about the oven and everything. I'm gonna take
yeah.
that advice too. I'm kicking my kids out because they almost started my house on fire with my oven, so they're out too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Out of there.
Jeez.
And I did send my number, Cole, through our chat.
I sent it to them already.
Okay.
So we are at
Good.
the last few minutes. Jennifer, do you have any more questions for anyone here?
Yes. Could any, because someone brought this up to me and I was going to ask, could any of this have anything to do with my grandparents and their occult activity?
Yes.
I
Okay.
gotta know.
Ancestral bloodline, maybe. Yeah.
On my
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like it's
very
mother,
from the
possible.
husband's side, so
on my mother's side,
Mhm.
her grandfather was a 32nd degree Mason.
Mhm.
My great grandmother was an Eastern Star, and then their sisters and were very much into the occult.
Mhm.
So I sense two spirits. I feel like one's coming from your husband, and I feel like the other one's been with you for since you were a child, which that could be what you're kind of describing. That's what I see. I don't see like a dead body or anything like that. Like I just feel like it's like kind of that property in itself from the Indians. I can see that. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of sensing is these two different separate dark energies coming together. And then the property outside, specifically the backyard, is what I'm feeling is where there is darkness from history, which is probably what they're sensing and talking about. Like, I'm more inside, like the house, and just kind of feel like what's left behind from your husband, and it's attached to you, which sounds like that masseuse was picking up on.
When it comes to the stuff with your ancestral line and those that did things before you were born, the grounding and shielding will definitely help with that.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah. You'll get there.
Yeah.
It's just a learning process, and it's a journey, and it's not overnight. So you'll just, it's just learning.
It is, but at the same time, the grounding and shielding, I think, will come very naturally to you two being empaths.
Yes.
Yes.
Use your tree energy.
I hope this helped you two. I hope this
did.
Yes.
Yes, thank you
so much.
You're
for coming
welcome
on the show.
to. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome to contact us anytime.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With that,
We've all been through it.
We have to go. We are now at 2:01:18. So I still have to make it so you can hear this episode.
Okay.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as always, here at the S4 Paranormal Bunker. Fran, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.